Hi everybody, welcome back to Stalking the Wild Autoharp. If you are one of the 5,000 people who watch this show every week, I want to thank you for watching, and I want to ask you to subscribe to this series because it will help me, help you, and help me be discovered by more and more people on YouTube. Okay, last week I promised you the map. The map to all of my lessons and everything that I teach, so that you will have something to refer to and something to pull off of when you don't know what you should practice next. Okay, so we're going to do the map. So what you're going to need is a piece of paper. Okay, and you can pause the video while you go and get one. I mean, you can always refer to this video. It will be here as long as YouTube is, but you might want to copy this out just so that you can keep it on your music stand like I'm doing here. Okay, now the first thing you want to do is you want to make your a section of your paper a square. So I'm going to put a line right down here. All right, and this will become a separate section. All right, I think of this map like a house, and it has four corners, and it has a stairway that goes up the center. The four corners are the four basic motions of playing rhythm on the autoharp. Strums, basic strums, and strum forms. All right, so to start out with, there are four basic strums that I teach, and these are root motions for other strums. We break up the root motions and they blossom and turn into other strums, and they get combined with each other. All right, so these are not the only strums there are, but all of the other motions are hybrids of these basic ones. That's why these are so important. All right, so the first one I'm going to put down in the upper corner here is rocker. And there is a video on rocker. I believe it's called The Easiest Strum Going. Rocker. All right, and I'm going to demonstrate each of these motions for you on my autoharp. All right, this is rocker. You use your thumb and your index, and you go back and forth. It has two components. It's got a thumb stroke and an index stroke. All right, so those are even more basic root motions, but rocker is when you go back and forth like that. And there's a whole video on it that shows how to use it. All right, so moving right along so this doesn't get too long. In another corner, I'm going to put Travis. And there's another whole video on Travis picking, so you can go look up that video. I think there's actually several. That's another one of our root motions that we want to use in addressing the autoharp. Travis. In 4/4, I do this. I'm an autoharpist, I'm an autoharpist, I'm an autoharpist. All right, and there's a 3/4 version. Now, don't use this video to learn the strum. Go to the strum video and learn the strum from the strum video. But that's one of the other basic ones. All right, to move along, in the next corner, we're going to put arpeggios. How high do I have to write it so you can see it? It's Italian for harp-like. All right, and arpeggios. Here's an arpeggio. You get going fast enough, they become banjo rolls. All right, arpeggios. Another big root motion that we want to learn to have variety in our playing. All right, and lastly, in this corner, I'm going to write scratch. And I believe when I made the video, the first video for it, I was calling it hamburger. So I'll write that too. I ran out of room. Hamburger, scratch. All right, there's a video on it. And it's a root motion that gets you going backwards with your finger picks. Or in 3/4. All right, there's a video on it. You can watch it, you can learn it. These 4 motions then can be combined in various ways. For example, we can blend hamburger and arpeggio. Hamburger, hamburger. Or we can combine hamburger with Travis. Etc., etc., to make hybrid strums. Okay? And we do all this sort of on the fly through muscle motion, having programmed these basic motions into our muscles. All right? Now this is not all the house. This is just the rhythm part of the house, the 4 corners or the foundation. All right? In the middle of the house, there is a spiral staircase, or a ladder, if you will, a stairway that we call melody playing. Okay? And I'm going to write melody sideways here. Pardon my sloppy handwriting. We're going to write 6 different melody components that we want to learn, all right? 6 different basic motions that we can use to play melody, all right? The first one is plucking with the thumb, all right? That's half of rocker, plucking with the thumb. We can play melody that way. I'll show you in a minute. But I call that thumb lead 1. So I'm going to write T, L, 1 for thumb lead 1. And here's what it looks like. The thumb always goes up, and you do a pluck for each one to make the melody note. So that's one way of playing melody, all right? The other way that is also incorporated in rocker is the finger pluck, all right? Which is, excuse me, I dropped my pen, pluck. All of these are covered in my videos, in my melody playing videos, all right? Thumb lead 1, pluck, all right? Thumb lead 1, pluck, all right? Then the third is where you take the 2 of those together, and instead of rocking them like rocker, which is a rhythm strum, you pinch them together, and that's called pinching. I hope you can see this in the video. Pinch is level 3 melody playing. It's also one of the easiest ways to start playing melody is by pinching. All right. So next we have thumb lead 2 and thumb lead 3. Oh, I should show you pinching in melody playing, huh? Since I'm showing you everything here. All right, melody playing with the pinch. the melody is here. And then depending on how wide your pinch is, you grab a harmony or you can play an octave. All right, so again, don't learn them from this, learn them from the videos that represent these. Pinching, all right? So next we have thumb lead 2. T, L, 2, thumb lead 2. All right, going up the ladder, thumb lead 2 is playing where you are alternating your thumb with your finger. Okay, no time to teach you here, but that's what it is. All right, alternating with the index and the thumb to play melody. All right, thumb lead 3 is going back and forth with your thumb, treating it like a flat pick. This is the latest one I learned just a couple of years ago. T, L, 3. I will demonstrate it. Got to find the sweet spot. Thumb lead 3, going back and forth with the thumb pick like a flat pick. There's a video on it that teaches it. All right, and then finally at the top, I'm going to write walking. Short for walking fingers. Walking fingers is where you play a melody by alternating your fingers. When you use alternating fingers or alternating thumb and finger, you can go much faster than with these other melody playing techniques. There is a video on walking fingers. Now, as I said, these are root motions and they combine to create other things. For example, I want to show you if you combine pinch and pluck, you get the ever popular pinch pluck, which is melody playing where you're pinching the melody here and then you're plucking in between with a harmony note underneath. But you see, that's a pinch and a pluck, two root motions that are coming together. Any one of these melody styles can be combined with one or more of the rhythm styles as well. Okay, so all of these blend together in various ways, usually on the fly. In other words, they just come because you feel a certain way about the music and you feel a certain surge, and so out come the motions. That's why we practice them in their root position. This root position work that I call the woodshed is a little bit like practicing a martial art. You practice the motion and you practice the motion and you practice the motion, and then when you need it, boom, it's there for you. So there you go, folks. That's the map. Now, there's this other area that I talked about. This is the basic map of basic motions. This area, which I call the patio or the porch or the garage, is where other techniques go. There's all kinds of other miscellaneous techniques, like damping, for example. There's a video on damping. Damping is a left-hand technique. All right, I have a video on patting. I have a video on rasguiado. I have a video on the old calypso trick. where you put tape on the strings. Those are all extras, and they all go over in here. Plus, you put your music theory knowledge over in here. These are things that you need to know in order to play, but these are the ones that address actually how you touch the auto harp. So, there's the map. You can refer to it whenever you want to start opening up new doorways in your playing. Maybe you have 3 or 4 of these down and you think that's good. Great. But maybe you want to start opening new directions and be able to do new things. Check the map. Go back. Do I know how to do thumb lead 2? I'm going to focus on that. Then you can go watch the video. Now, by the way, and I know I forgot to mention, I teach privately, and I teach privately using this technique. When I teach privately, it's via Skype. You can sign on for lessons through my website and meet with me one-on-one on a weekly basis, and we can go through wherever you are, and I can teach you to play your own songs. Not the songs I hand you, but your own songs. You can find them. You can bring them back, you can turn them into auto harp songs and be doing the songs you want to do because you already know them. You know how they go. And those are the songs that are going to be really rewarding for you to do. So, I don't want to make this any longer than I already have. I'm Hal Weeks. Thanks for watching. We'll have some videos next week that talk about the map and how some of these things get blended. We'll see you then. Bye.